Ever heard of a killer? I drop bombs like Hiroshima.
Somebody said, look at LeakYou video. What the fuck is LeakYou? Is it like a site? What's LeakYou? LeakYou. Is it a YouTube channel? Oh, shit. Oh, all right, bet. Here we go.
Things around here, baby. Shout out to 96 Beats. That track is called Holden. And you all know, being from Texas, I absolutely, always try to promote Texas music. Anyway, we are here today. I know many of you have been waiting on me to do this video, and I'm here to do it. Um, in the last week or so, okay, Conor McGregor's team, his publicity team, has had 2 videos of mine taken down. I didn't get a strike, but he had 2 videos taken down while they were scheduled. Okay, I hadn't even done them yet, but he had 2 of my videos taken down. And I heard that there were some other YouTubers that this also happened to. So it's like, okay, is that what we're doing? That's what we're doing here? Okay. So anyway, I want to get into talking more about Conor McGregor and his sexual misdeeds. And frankly, I have been very vocal about the fact that I believe that Conor McGregor is a serial rapist. And I fully believe that in my heart. And I say that now, this is all alleged, of course. Okay. But I want to go into Conor McGregor's very familiar history when it comes to sexual assaults. Okay. Now, I want to say this before we even get into his, timeline. As you all know, Conor McGregor stands accused of sexually assaulting a woman. Okay. He's also under investigation. Listen, this is his fifth sexual assault allegation. Okay. Since 2019. Okay. Now, in this latest one, Conor McGregor is seen on video leading a woman into a bathroom. Okay. And forced this woman to have oral sex with him. Okay. And then forcibly pinned her against the wall and forced her and tried to sodomize her. Okay. And if you're not familiar what sodomy is or what sodomize is, it means that he tried to put his penis in her butthole. Okay. Some people don't know what that means. Some people don't know what sodomy means. But that's what it means. Okay. Now, what we're going to be talking about here is adult stuff. Okay. Viewer discretion is absolutely advised. I'm streaming across multiple platforms right now because, Connor, I told you I'm coming on all platforms. And this is going to go up on Spotify as well because this is something that we need to talk about. If Kanye West can be canceled for his words about Jewish people, 5 sexual assault allegations should be enough to get this white man's privilege yanked. And this white man meaning Conor McGregor, who is arguably one of the best MMA fighters to have ever lived up until this point, according to some. Now, we're talking about rape accusations in a Dublin hotel penthouse. We're talking about rape allegations listen, Connor was at the NBA game. He was at the actual arena when he did this, you all. Can you believe that? He was at the arena. He couldn't even hold himself back. He had to do this, and there were so many people standing in front of that bathroom when that woman was led into that bathroom. So many women. So many people. Now, before we get into the specifics, I want you all to know there is an allegation going around right now, and and I'm not even going to call this an allegation. The attorney for Conor McGregor's sexual assault accuser has said that the NBA is offering her hush money. Of course, the league has denied this, but attorney Ariel Mitchell, who represents the woman that is alleged that UFC star Conor McGregor sexually assaulted her at an NBA Finals game, says the league offered money to keep her client quiet in the aftermath of the incident. This is according to a Thursday report out of the Daily Mail. Okay? Now, the Daily Mail cited a source, said that the hush money was in the amount of $100,000. Quote, some of the security guards who stood by when this happened were not McGregor's. They were hired by the Heat. They decided to cater to a celebrity instead of protecting a young woman in trouble. Again, I've been asking, I want to know every one of those individuals, those men that were standing outside that bathroom while that woman was in there being sexually assaulted. And I've been getting some names. So please keep those names coming. Please keep them coming because I'm going to expose them. They will be exposed because they stood outside while that woman was being forcibly sodomized. By the way, my understanding is this 5th woman is a woman of African American descent. Okay. So the NBA is offering $100,000 for her to stay quiet. And the reason is because it was some of their security that was blocking people from coming in and out of that bathroom while he raped her. Now, last week, in a demand letter that was sent to Conor McGregor, the NBA, and the Miami Heat, The woman accused Conor of violently raping her while attending the NBA Finals Game 4 on June 10th in Miami, Florida. The alleged sexual assault occurred inside a men's bathroom at the Accusation Center, where McGregor made a promotional appearance in which he knocked out the Heat mascot during the game. Cell phone video from that night shows Conor McGregor directing several security guards to block off the bathroom and to create a pathway before he takes the woman whom he'd met earlier in the night by the hand, and he leads her inside of this bathroom. In this bathroom is where the woman alleges that Conor McGregor forced her to perform oral sex on him and then attempted to sodomize her while they were alone in a handicap stall. Now, in response to Mitchell's claim of hush money, NBA Chief Communications Officer Mike Bass told the Daily Mail that it's false. Now, in addition to the NBA and Heat, McGregor's accuser also is going after the Miami Police Department, expressing anger with how it handled the aftermath of the alleged sexual assault. Mitchell told the Daily Mail that her client went to police hours later, but things did not go the way that she hoped. First, she went to the police precinct where she lives, and there they told her to go to another precinct where this happened. Essentially punting, okay? Punting the ball. So that's one rejection of a sexual assault victim. Then at the Rifle precinct, she walked in shortly after 4:30 p.m. and half an hour later, she was walked out of the police station. And according to her lawyer, an officer talked the woman out of filing a proper police report. Quote, "He walked her out of the building in no time. The detective told her to hire an attorney before she files a police complaint. He told her, if you file today, this will go viral. Of course, that convinced her to wait. And that's not good for the investigation, especially when we're talking about a rape victim that could potentially have evidence on her or inside of her." Now, according to Miami Police spokesman Michael Vega, the department started an incident report on June the 11th, although he did not provide it to the Daily Mail upon request. Quote, "We did open the case when the victim first came in. As it happens in many investigations, she had to come back for additional information. I can't imagine that any officer or detective in this department would turn away the victim of a sex crime." Okay. Okay. Give me a second, if you don't mind. I would like to show you this video that everyone's talking about, in which what I've been speaking on, okay, in which he leads her into this bathroom after a pathway is cleared for him by various members of security. It's fucking pathetic. They essentially assisted him in raping this woman and should be charged as such. Watch this. He's talking to security, then he goes to the victim, grabs her by the hand, takes her into the bathroom. A bathroom? Watch. You hear people saying, "Oh my God." Then the security walks to the door. Then they close the door. And then they guard the door. They're guarding the door. He walks up. He grabs her by the hand. He made security make a pathway for them. He walks her into that bathroom. You see security guards walking right behind her. They know the deal. And then they're going to close the door. He looks back at the security. They close the door. And then they sit there and they guard it. while all these people are standing by looking. It is unbelievable. Unbelievable. That video has went absolutely viral. It sure has, as it should. Okay, now I want to put up this picture of this publicity stunt that Conor McGregor did a couple days ago using his own family. Okay, this woman here, he done put 4 kids in this woman, D. Devlin. He done put 4 babies in this woman, and he ain't married her yet. In addition to the video of McGregor coordinating the bathroom escort, there is also footage of McGregor and his accuser together at an arena club after the alleged sexual assault. The two had been partying together earlier in the evening. Mitchell told the Daily Mail that the woman, prior to the alleged sexual assault, was willing to go home with McGregor. When they left the club area together, Mitchell said her client expected to go out somewhere else with McGregor and his entourage, not a men's restroom inside the arena. So he wasn't taking her home. He was going to do her in the bathroom. Mitchell said it wasn't until the early morning hours of June 10th that her client reflected on what happened and decided to take action. She was upset about it. She had a talk with her family and she decided to go to the police. Now, I need you all to understand one thing about rape. It is very difficult for a rape victim to even go to the police because there's so many things going on in your mind, about what happened. So I don't look at her as, she went relatively quickly to the police, to the hospital, all of that. I don't necessarily look at her going to the club afterwards as like, some nail in the coffin, because it just does not work like that when it comes to rape. It just doesn't. It is not black and white. Now, Conor McGregor has not spoken publicly on the situation, but through his attorney, a woman attorney, by the way, this woman attorney has denied the allegation and has called it, quote, no more than a shakedown. But listen to this. This is the latest incident. From the first time McGregor has been accused of sexual assault. He faced allegations twice in 2019, both in March and October of that year in Ireland. In September 2020 in Corsica, which later was dropped. And in 2021, he faced a lawsuit for an alleged incident that happened in 2018. And then earlier this year in January, McGregor was accused of attacking a woman on a yacht in Ibiza. He's not faced legal punishment in any of these cases because, see, Conor McGregor has that white privilege. See? He's got that white privilege. Now, let's get into some of these details regarding these. Let's get into these various sexual allegations of Conor McGregor. Okay, let's get into this. Now, this article was written in 2019. All right, give me just 1 second.
Media since 2018, making the story hard to confirm is Ireland's strict laws on not naming people accused of sexual assault unless convicted. That led to several articles from various Irish outlets talking about a case involving an unnamed sportsman. Here's what we know at this time. According to the Irish Times, the alleged sexual assault occurred at the Beacon Hotel in Dublin on the night of December 9, 2018, a spot McGregor has been known to rent a penthouse suite from in the past. The New York Times cites an anonymous person familiar with the hotel operations who claims McGregor was there the night before the alleged incident. Police have reportedly checked the penthouse and CCTV footage for evidence. The New York Times states McGregor is under investigation by the Gardaí police, but has not been charged with a crime at this time. McGregor presented himself to at 5 p.m. on January 17, 2019, and was arrested and questioned by authorities before being released without charges. Gardaí released a statement to the Times that did not confirm McGregor as a suspect, stating, "Investigations are ongoing in this case, and at this time a file continues to be prepared for the Director of Public Prosecutions." According to the Irish Times, the sportsman gave consent to have DNA samples taken while in custody under Section 4 of the Criminal Justice Act 1984. A Section 4 detention applies to any offense for which an adult may be punished by imprisonment for a term of 5 years or more. More sensational claims regarding the alleged incident can be seen at the Irish Mirror, but it's worth noting that it is considered a tabloid. According to the Mirror, the famous sports star was on a 2-day bender and looked wired. The alleged victim was reported to have suffered serious injuries, and it is claimed that Gardaí examined the woman's blood-stained clothing. On December 13, The Independent quoted an anonymous senior source on the status of the investigation into the well-known sports star. "This matter is now the subject of investigation by Blackrock detectives. This is the third different Garda station involved in this very difficult and complex case," a senior source said. The victim is too afraid to make a formal complaint at the moment, but that could change at a later date. However, that does not mean that this matter is closed. It's very much a live investigation and CCTV will play a vital role. Gardaí are now satisfied they finally have a chain of events, incorporating a proper timeline of sorts in this case, but there is a lot to be sorted here. At the end of the day, there is no doubt that this young lady suffered a horrendous ordeal. The examinations and all the evidence shows that she was raped and very badly assaulted in that penthouse suite, the source added. On January 18, 2019, the Irish Times made claims regarding the events surrounding the police complaint. It is understood Gardaí were initially alerted to the alleged rape when an acquaintance of the woman made a complaint. They visited the woman and spoke to her informally, and she was taken to a sexual assault treatment unit where forensic samples were taken. The woman initially did not make a formal statement of complaint to Gardaí but was cooperating with and speaking to investigators. However, she recently met Gardaí and made a full statement alleging sexual assault. She also told Gardaí she had been physically assaulted by the male. After becoming aware of the allegations last month, the sportsman told Gardaí, through his solicitor, that he was willing to be interviewed. However, investigators required a statement of complaint from the alleged victim before they could move forward. Once that complaint was received, they contacted the man's solicitor and asked him to attend at Dundrum Garda Station, where he was arrested and questioned on Thursday. In mid-January, Irish broadcaster RTE accidentally included McGregor's name in an internal memo related to the allegations. A photo of the memo was taken and circulated, pushing the story with McGregor's name attached to outlets like Therese Owens. A follow-up story without McGregor's name in the Sunday Times noted RTE now faced fines because of the incident. And now on March 26, 2019, the New York Times has blown the veil of secrecy off this story by publishing a full report on it. McGregor publicist Karen J. Kessler initially responded to a request from the New York Times by telling them, "We don't comment on rumors." Shortly after the story was published, Kessler sent this statement out to media. "This story has been circulating for some time and it is unclear why it is being reported now," the statement from Kessler read. "The assumption that the Conor retirement announcement today is related to this rumor is absolutely false. Should Conor fight in the future, it must be in an environment where fighters are respected for their value, their skill, their hard work and their dedication to the sport. We'll have more regarding this story as it develops."
Now, remember, guys, this is part 1. Okay? Because I'm only going to do an hour. And Conor McGregor, again, we're talking about 5 different allegations of sexual assault. And again, my question stands. is Conor McGregor a serial rapist? And I'm inclined to think that he is. Again, this is all allegations, but I believe that he is a serial rapist. And I want to go into more details about this incident. Okay. Now, there was a woman who accused Conor of raping her in a Dublin hotel in 2018, and that Conor had been on a 2-day bender. This complaint of rape was made by this woman after an alleged incident that happened in the early hours of a Monday morning. It's understood that alleged sexual assault occurred after the woman was socializing with friends in South Dublin in Ireland. The well-known celebrity looked wired at the hotel as he partied with pals on a 2-day bender. They said that everyone was polite on the way to the hotel and they were shown up to the private area where they usually go. And I'm going to play you something here in a minute. Now, this woman has a partner and a young child. Okay. Now, when staff went back up to check on them at around 5 a.m., the sports star, Conor McGregor, was so wild-eyed, he looked wired, and they left in a fairly animated state. The woman was brought to Rotunda's Hospital's sexual assault treatment unit. She is reported to have suffered serious injuries. You have to understand to suffer serious injuries from a rape in that area, meaning they say that this woman's clothing was bloodstained. Okay? You as a woman, any woman knows what that means. Someone viciously and violently raped this woman. Viciously and violently. Okay? This woman was in her 20s. She met him while partying in South Dublin Village. She traveled in an SUV to this hotel. A group went to a hotel room where cocaine and alcohol was being consumed during the party. There's no suggestion that this woman that was involved took the illegal drug, but we know there was cocaine and alcohol there. And at some point between midnight and 3 a.m. on Monday, the woman alleges that she was raped. She identified Conor McGregor, and a forensic examination showed that she suffered serious injuries. And this woman is a mother of a young child and is in a relationship with another man. One second. One second, if you don't mind. I'm going to show you something here. Okay, this says a famous Irish sports star is being investigated after a woman was allegedly raped in Dublin. It's understood the woman in her 20s was allegedly attacked in a hotel room after socializing with friends in South Dublin. Officers at Perth Street Garda Station are investigating the incident that is believed to have happened at a city centre hotel. A source told the Irish Mirror the woman turned up at a South Dublin Garda station and made a complaint of rape. A source told the Irish Mirror the woman turned up at the South Dublin Garda station. Officers then took her to the SATU at the Rotunda Hospital for examination. The case was then transferred, right? And I did read all this already. Now, a Garda spokesman told the Irish Mirror that Gardaí at Pearse Street, Dublin 2 are investigating an alleged sexual assault on a female, which occurred in Dublin 2 in the early hours of December 10th, 2018. Okay? This was 2018. It is 2023. And in 5 years, Conor McGregor has been accused of the sexual assault of 5 women. Okay? Now, let's go to the second sexual assault. Now, before I even get into the second one, there's very strict laws in Ireland about identifying victims of sexual assault. Now, as you all know, McGregor was arrested, but he was not charged in that case in 2018. All right. He was released by officials after questioning, and shortly after this, he announced his retirement from the MMA. And that retirement has been filled with promises of return, a number of call-outs, and although with all the ongoing criminal activity, his return was listed then as being unlikely. Now, this investigation has been ongoing, and since then, McGregor has been named in additional sexual assault cases. Now, let's get to the second assault charge. McGregor's also been named in a second sexual assault charge that took place on a Saturday afternoon in October of 2020. The rumors on this second case have been circulating for weeks, but as of October 19th, the New York Times confirmed that Conor McGregor stood accused of a second sexual assault charge. This woman, in her 20s, was sexually assaulted in a vehicle that was parked outside. Sorry about that, guys. speaking of this I want to talk about the January 2023 incident, because I've already talked, we're going to have additional parts to this. I already talked about part one, but I want to talk about what happened, January of this year, when Conor McGregor allegedly attacked a woman on a yacht in Ibiza. This woman said that Conor McGregor became suddenly aggressive, and that his behavior just changed like that. She said she feared for her life so much that she literally jumped off this yacht into the water and began to swim towards the island of Formentera, but was actually rescued by a Red Cross boat. This happened in Spain. Now, according to an outlet, she reported this incident in Ibiza and again in Dublin when she returned, which led the court in Ibiza to reopen the investigation. But Conor McGregor is literally being investigated for sexual assaults in several countries around the world. Something is very wrong here, okay? This victim said, quote, it was if he was possessed. I knew that I had to get off the boat because I thought that he was going to kill me. We have mutual friends. I have met him numerous times. I can't believe what he did to me. He is a criminal, and I think he would have killed me if I hadn't gotten off of that yacht. And I'm telling you, Conor McGregor, again, I say this again, I question whether Conor McGregor is a serial rapist, okay? Period. And his white privilege has allowed him to skate the law, period. That's it. That's all. That's the only reason why that man has not been charged yet. But sorry about that, guys. My mic went out. But with the thoughts of this with Conor McGregor, and I'm just going to say this, okay? People like Conor McGregor, who appears to me to be a serial rapist, they escalate. These things escalate, okay? And the fact that that woman was so scared that she thought that he was going to kill her, okay, makes me wonder if Conor McGregor ever has. Now, can we see something interesting for a second? I want to show you how ignorant these people are out here, okay? Because even though this is the 5th sexual assault this man has faced, there are still people that do things like this.
Like we kind of have to revisit that big story that happened last week.
I totally agree.
Because I was choosing my words very carefully, because you have to, because it's a very, very delicate matter, and it's still a delicate matter. But I feel kind of confident now going out on a limb and saying that story is absolute bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can't look at all the stuff that's come out. I mean, she said that Conor, his security, the Heat security, and like NBA security separated her from her friend, and they went into the bathroom. That's not true, because
they walked in together.
They walked in together, hand in hand. And then they were holding hands. I mean, you seen the video? It helps him by saying that.
Yeah.
And then another video that I just seen yesterday of them hanging out, having drinks after the alleged event. Like, come on. Like, this is what I don't understand. And this, I don't even give a fuck if I get flamed for this. Why are women not upset at women that do this? Because what it does is it ends up screwing the girls and women that when something actually happens to them, and they need someone to be in their corner and be their fiduciary and be on their side. It makes it gives this illusion like, oh, okay, we got to step back I wish we could just believe every time that happens and say, you know what? That was a very serious allegation. We need to take that serious until you give me a reason not to. This kind of stuff is what those girls that really need people to be on their side and stick by them right away. It screws them. It's absolute bullshit to accuse someone of something so terrible when there's people out there that are having terrible, terrible things happen to them, and then having to convince people that it's true because of women like this that just throw it out there just to get some fucking money. Really pisses me off.
You said it perfectly, because you're absolutely right. And it's women like that. And again, we still haven't had the case fully investigated and closed. Right. Okay. But you said the footage of them talking afterwards, they said apparently it was like an hour afterwards. I'm sure with the data, the metadata on the phone, they can see when that was recorded, and it's pretty easy to prove. And if that is true, then that's it. If they're hanging out and talking afterwards, after apparently he did what he was alleged to have done, that just doesn't stack up. And it's not what she said initially either. So the whole thing right now looks like it's absolute bullshit. Right. And as you say, there is terrible crimes happen to women every day. And it's because of women like her going out there and making these kind of allegations that they aren't taken seriously, that people don't automatically believe, sadly. Yeah, it's. I mean, she should definitely face if what we're saying is correct. Right. And I'll still be honest, we might be wrong, but I don't think we are. I feel pretty confident in my stance right now. Yeah. If she is lying, she needs to face serious criminal charges.
Right, and not even so much for Conor. And this is less about Conor, more about the situation, because Conor is a damn near billionaire with plenty of lawyers and resources that he can chase this down and say, look, all of this isn't true. What if that's just a regular ass guy? Just some regular dude that isn't a billionaire, that didn't have multiple security around him that could testify for him, and multiple people around him and cameras on him all the time. Like, that person is just taking a video of Conor. Like, just because it's who he is. If he wasn't fucking rich and famous, no one probably would have been filming him in a club.
No, for sure.
Having a conversation with the girl to prove that everything was fine after the alleged event. And no one would have filmed him hand in hand taking her out to the bathroom. Like, if that's a regular guy, you got nothing. You're fucked.
Exactly. It's your word against theirs. Right. Sadly, in this day and age, or whatever, for whatever reason, right. You kind of, we even said it. Sometimes there's no smoke without fire. Why would you say this? Why would you make this up? Right. Well, if she sees that you're driving a nice car, maybe you got a nice watch on your hand, maybe she knows a little bit about your personal details, and that you may be, doing well in life, wealthy, rich, whatever word you want to use, she may have that opinion and think, I'm going to try and do something to get some of that. And it looks like that this is what's happening. But more importantly, yes, of course, for Conor and for other people, for other women as well,
but for
other women that are flipping victims of this kind of things, that is undermining everything. It just makes me think back to the Amber Heard case with Johnny Depp. Remember that trial? Yeah. You know what I mean? And still to this day, she's being called a victim. She wasn't a victim. A judge went out there and ruled against you in a court of law. There was a long trial. A long trial that was very looked into. And I thought Johnny Depp was incredible in that throughout that whole thing. He was hilarious. I enjoyed that.
I still love the. Why did you think that he was on cocaine? And she said he had a jar. I was like, yeah. Way to go, Johnny.
In our house, if ever we do a glass of wine, when we do, I always say make it a mega pint, because that's what he called it, a mega pint. Why was it so large? He said, I felt it necessary. I'm like, yeah, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. Harrington, what was going on? Jamal Hill and Corey Anderson, they were talking a bit of crap on Twitter. I saw a video of Jamal. I think he's does a YouTube channel now, and he was talking about it on there, and he couldn't believe what he heard, but I didn't quite get the grasp the context. What was it, please?
So Jamal Hill made a video when a few people were coming out and saying that the Bellator light heavyweight division is pound for pound better than the UFC light heavyweight division.
Anthony. Yeah. But go on, carry on, Harrington. Sorry.
So Jamal Hill was not happy about that. He basically broke it down. Like, there's been UFC guys who've gone to Bellator and immediately gone and gotten a title. We haven't seen that with Bellator guys coming over to the UFC. He used Michael Chandler as an example. So long story short, Corey Anderson hopped on Twitter about it And he said, "Old sweet boo."
No, long story short is these two men that were just running their dick suckers, okay, are absolutely delusional. They are the epitome of white privilege. They are kissing Conor McGregor's ass for whatever reason. Maybe they want him to show up on their blog or their podcast or something. I don't know. But they're absolutely delusional. And just because that court case went forever long and he wasn't found guilty, excuse you, but 5 allegations of sexual assault. Everybody's not lying on Conor, you idiots. You are idiots. And you're protecting a rapist, an alleged rapist. Okay? Period. And then you try to act like, oh, he led her by the hand into the bathroom. Okay. And your point. Were you in the bathroom? Did you see that what was going on in that handicap stall? No, you did not. No, you did not. You weren't there during the other 4 incidents. You weren't there on that yacht in Ibiza. Yet you sit here and you call these women liars. You say they're not victims. You are delusional ass kissers. And you will not be around long. I don't even know your names, and I don't plan to learn them. Fuck you, you pieces of shit. This is part 1. And I will be having a part 2 where we're going to go into more detail about the addition, more about the sexual assault allegations, more about this court case that he had, and more about any updates that come out regarding this newest allegation. Again, we got 2 sexual assault allegations in this year. This means Conor McGregor's he is escalating his criminal behavior. And that is scary because see, what's going to happen is he's going to not be able to overcome that urge to rape. And he's going to end up murdering someone because he doesn't want them to talk. He doesn't want to lose money and he doesn't want them to talk. He doesn't want to go to jail. So then this could potentially turn Conor McGregor into a serial killer. And people are not seeing that danger. They're not seeing it. They are not seeing it. And it is sad. It is pathetic, if you ask me. But again, I appreciate everybody that came through. Before we get up out of here, allow me to pay some bills. And I also want to let you all know that I am currently working. I've been working in publishing season 2 of my Spotify, of my podcast, which is on all podcast platforms. So definitely make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Shout out to the LeakYou community. Please join us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music.
Please hit the like. Thank you.
Looks like you lost another one.
And I want to give a special shout out to those of you in the chat, especially BTK Killer. Shout out to BTK Killer in the chat. If you have not had an opportunity, follow my girl, BTK Killer. I love her. I love everything about her. Her page, her Instagram, her YouTube. She is definitely a much loved member of the LeakYou community. And so make sure you subscribe to her channel. Anyway, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you for coming through. My next video will be regarding UFOs. There's a few UFO sightings that I want to bring to your attention. And so be on the lookout for that. And also, we're going to check in on Griff. Griff is a being that has been secretly being recorded, and I can't really disclose where those recordings are taking place at, but we're going to check on Griff, see how Griff is doing. And Griff actually lives in liquid. He does not live in air. He lives in liquid, and he looks just like an alien being. So anyway, guys, I appreciate, again, each and every one of you for coming through. Thanks to all of you. Until next time, everyone.
The judgment sentence that you are an asshole. The trial is over. Thank you, everybody.
Let's play a game. You have 10 seconds to take all your stuff and get out of my life. 10, 9, 8.
God bless you, motherfucker.
You're really smart. Like really, really, really smart like I am.